Welcome back, guys, to a new live day trading episode. My name is Julius. I hope you're well. We are back in the S&P 500 future. Today's the first episode with Facecam. Right off the bat, please make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in live trading. I upload every Tuesday and Saturday. All right. So we are back in the micro S&P. I'm trading 5 micro contracts here. That equals the amount of $25 per point. And it seems like we get a trend opening. This could still change in the last minute. Should we get a bigger pullback, that I would maybe trade this as a range. But should it stay like that, then it is a trend opening. So we are in a bullish trend for like more or less the whole day since the opening. And we are currently waiting now for the US Open in 30 seconds. So I can immediately make up my mind where I want to enter this. So we could enter here, or we could wait a little longer for the 23 to enter. That is the question, depends on where this candle is closing. And then I also maybe have to take a look at volatility and stuff. Let's take a look at the footprint real quick. Okay, we got at the 21 some imbalances. Quite tricky. So this is a trend opening for me. So we could definitely already buy here. Let's see if the market is able to come further down. I would much rather sell nearby the 23 somewhere. Okay, so we could buy here after a 1.5 point pullback. But for some reason, I feel like this is not enough yet. Okay, point of control moved. Yeah, as I told you, we got some imbalances here at the 21. It doesn't need to be the 21, but like the 22, 23, 24, maybe would be the point where I maybe would want to buy. Okay, come on, test those lows again. Okay, I'm gonna buy here at the 23. So that is quite okay. Market actually went a little further, but this is the point where I want to enter, more or less here at those structural points. I want to continue trading long. Since this is a long trend until now, I want to continue with the trend. Of course, there might be a chance that this market will be sold off completely, but I'm looking for a trend continuation. Okay, so the wick actually went a little lower, so we could have gotten a better entry price. That said, my plan was to buy somewhere here at those tops at this location, more or less. Okay, and this is what I did. So I'm very glad that I did not buy all the way up here, but rather still further down. We could have gotten actually a 2.2 point better price, but so be it. So now we have to make up our mind where to put the stop loss. Okay, so in those trending scenarios, my expertise, my experience, my analysis says that we have to take the stop loss at the overall lows of the day. So in this case, that would be right here in the Asian session at the 302. Stop loss needs to be there, one tick below those lows. So let's take a look. The lows were at the 2.5. Okay, stop loss is correct. Yeah, so this isn't really a stop loss. In those trending openings, this is more like the last safety net before the whole account is blown. Okay, I have to agree with you guys, this is not really a stop loss. So should the market come all the way down here, in this case, then the loss would be so big that we can't really talk about a stop loss anymore. It's more like an indicator for a point in which I really need to go short. Okay, should the market close underneath this red line, I definitely need to go short. Okay, that means that the lows of the day were broken. We may be going lower. Okay, until then, I'm hoping that we're not gonna see those lows and that the market is reversing earlier. So it's foolish to think that once you enter the market, the position immediately goes in your direction. Okay, I think that's a little foolish to say, especially in day trading. Okay, in scalping it's maybe a little different, but in day trading that would be foolish to say. You had to be the best trader in the world to really get into a position, and the position is always immediately going in your direction. So I'm calculating there might be a little space, a little wiggle room for the market to find itself, okay? So no problem, the market is not immediately turning in our direction. I bought here because I definitely do not want to miss out on this trade. Always with the thought that maybe the market is gonna go further short before finally making new highs. Okay, so we tested those imbalances here. We're building clusters. Delta is negative. Volume 63,000 contracts been traded. That is quite a big volume. Now it's just a waiting game. Account window is activated for you guys. You can always see my open P&L. I don't have so many things here on the monitor, so it's pretty easy to identify what is going on. I don't like having 6 different layouts here, 1,000 indicators. I want it clean, I want it easy and simple. And my strategy, the basic of my strategy is also very, very simple. I just want to continue trading the current trend. in this case, continue trading long. Of course, there are several rules and details that are necessary to build a profitable strategy. Okay, so the little details, when to move the stop loss, how long to wait before the entry, for the exit, stuff like that. I could write a book about that, but the basic idea is very, very simple. Okay, it's just a trend continuation. I'm continuing this long trend here, looking for new highs. So we'll see. So we get a 2-bar reversal here, but this was before the open, so this candle. So a lot of times we find a 2-bar reversal after the open in those trend openings before making new highs. So there is quite a chance that this candle again will be a negative one. But guys, I can tell you, I've seen everything, okay? Sometimes the market is immediately going up. Sometimes it's completely selling off first. Everything is possible. We never know. And it's foolish to think that we know everything about the market. So we are still continuing making new lows here. Let's take a look at the footprint. So delta is still negative. We broke those imbalances. The next imbalances are here at the 18 approximately. Yeah, that's just waiting game now. Okay, we did everything we were supposed to do. We entered, we decided where to put the stop loss, and now it's just a waiting game. Okay, maybe some words for the stop loss. Again, a lot of you guys will probably call me completely stupid for for not even having an automated stop loss. Okay, that's just the thing on itself. I'm closing the position manually. I have the discipline to immediately close the position once my stop loss is reached. Okay, or basically the bar is closing underneath the stop loss in this case. But a lot of you guys will call me stupid for giving the market that much room. But from my experience overall, this is the more profitable approach. How often do you get stopped out and then the market is going in your direction? Okay, so I'm not telling you that you shouldn't use a stop loss at all. Definitely not. Always have a stop at some point. And it should be also still quite reasonable. And so I did it here. I have a stop loss, but it's quite far away. I have to give that to you. But from my experience, there oftentimes is the case that the market is trading here through this complete previous range before making new highs. And I do not want to get stopped out of a position during this sell-off in this case, okay? Because once I get stopped out of a position, that most of the time also means that I'm opening a counter position. Okay, should I get stopped out of my long position here, I will immediately open a short position. Why? Because I set my stop at a point where I'm convinced that the long idea might not work anymore, that the long trend is broken. So that vice versa means when I'm not convinced to be in a long position anymore, that maybe I'm convinced to get into a short position. Okay, so this is the reason why I immediately open a short position should I get stopped out of a long one. And maybe also the reason why I set the stop loss that far away. Okay, as I predicted, we get a second bearish bar. Now would be the point where I would be really glad if we would get some bullish momentum for different reasons. First of all, because I'm in a loss. I want to get profitable here. I want to get into a big profit. But from a technical point of view, we are making higher lows and higher highs until now. So in order for this trend to continue, making like a little trend line, we want to see again higher lows and hopefully again higher highs. This is what I'm speculating on here, okay? This is what I bought into. Maybe a little too early, but I definitely do not want to miss out on a possible good trade. And I'm sometimes sacrificing a few points to really make sure that I get into a position. It's a fine line between being patient enough and being too patient. In this case, I could have been more patient and wait for the market, but you never know. Sometimes it's different, okay? I waited for a proper reversal, almost 5 points, and then said, okay, now is the time to buy the market, to really make sure that I do not want to miss out on the trade, even though we could have gotten a better price. So I sacrificed some points to make sure that I get into the position. Maybe you do that different, and that is totally fine. We all may have different approaches on this. In the end, we all want to be profitable, and whatever makes you profitable, continue doing that. So I think enough talk. Now the time is there to just wait for the market to either prove us right or wrong. Okay, I did the work. I entered, I set a stop loss. Some of you guys may also set a target. I'm not one of those guys who's trading with a target. I think the target is, you can't be sure where the market is going. Sometimes the market is just continuing for the whole trading day long, sometimes not. So I want to get the most out of the trade, even though that means that I'm again maybe sacrificing some points, maybe not getting the best exit. and yeah, giving some profits away until I exit the position. But I want to stay as long in the trade as possible. So enough talk. This is also the first video with face cam, so I have to get a little used to talking into the camera. Until now, I was just used to like speaking into the microphone. Now it's just a little different. So don't be too harsh with me. I'm learning. We're gonna see us once something is happening. I'm gonna be quiet for a second and we just wait together here. Okay guys, so I'm updating you because like in 7 seconds we get some news. Let's see how they turn out. Hopefully they're bullish. We're gonna find out now. Well, this isn't good. Well, this is really not good. What the heck? You saw how that was lagging for a second? I thought everything is over. Okay, now let's see how they turn out. Let's just give... How are the news so freaking volatile? It's like, those are crazy news. I did not expect such a big push today. For a second, I was devastated. Come on, maybe the news are gonna be bought back. Maybe. Okay, first minute of the news is over. After like 2 to 3 minutes, the market slowly is going back into a usual flow. Okay, we got some unfinished auctions here. Big absorption from the sellers with this red square. Wow, what was that, guys? What did we get here? The news are crazy. I did not expect such a push. I'm glad that I recorded this. That's quite unusual. So it's like the ISM manufacturing PMI or ISM services PMI. Let me check for a second. It was the services PMI. And usually it's not that volatile, okay? Again, one of those examples why I'm glad that I do not have an automated stop loss. Imagine if I had an automated stop loss somewhere down here, I would have been stopped out, even though the market tested this price level only for 1 second and then bought back everything, okay? And now we are back in the usual price area, okay? So I'm very glad that I'm using a manual stop loss, that I can decide when I want to close the position, because we would be screwed. Of course, now there is the chance that the market will come back down again, but for now, I'm happy that I'm not stopped out yet. Okay, so the delta is not flipping. It's actually increasing to the negative side. It's getting lower and lower. So that means that a lot of active market sellers are still in, and that concerns me very much because I actually hope for a complete pullback and maybe a flip to the long side, but the delta is currently speaking for itself. It doesn't seem like a lot of people are willing to buy here, or at least the majority is still selling this market, which is interesting. So it seems like until now I'm not too successful with my long position, am I? But I have to stay concentrated and keep being patient. Okay, last minute. So the market is now slowly getting into its usual behavior and the delta is not looking too good here. We're building many clusters on those price levels, but the buyers are not there yet. They are not there yet. Okay, big trades indicator here. So those moments are very interesting to watch on the footprint chart here. In the end, it's not changed my trading style, not influencing my decisions, but it's just nice to look at while we are waiting for the market to do something here. We still got some unfinished auctions. Those will become imbalances now once this candle is closing. So let's see if we can go back up. Okay, immediately the sellers are, again, they're showing off what they're capable of doing. The good thing is that there are no major news left. So this was the big deal that we were waited for. And now I just want to see new highs at a certain point. And this is what I'm talking about, okay? In my experience, there is quite a chance that the market will trade through this previous trend from the tops to the lows and then eventually making the new highs. And I do not want to be stopped out before that, okay? So my long idea is kind of still in place. Okay, so before the news, we actually held more or less those previous lows. Okay, and now because of the news, we broke everything. So everything is now a little bit out of place. But I'm still one of those guys who is trading through the news, because if I decided not to trade on every news occasion, I would have like there are news almost every day. Okay, so if I would decide not to trade during news, I could only trade like 2 days a week, at least in a US session. And this is not what I'm willing to do. But I have to agree, right now it doesn't look too good here, does it? So the news are really getting me here. Delta again, minus 2000. That is really concerning that there are so many active market sellers pushing for it. But those are the moments that we have to deal with, where we have to keep true to our strategy, not get too emotional. Of course, it's not pleasure to be in a losing position. But eventually, I believe in my approach, in my strategy, in my rules. Eventually, it will turn out positive. And if not today, then maybe tomorrow or next week. That is part of being a trader. The monthly result matters, not specifically the daily result, okay? So Delta, still very, very bad for us. The buyers really are not really there. I'm not able to stop this candle. Last minute of this one. And then maybe I'm gonna mute myself again and we're just gonna wait for the market to evolve, because watching those negative trades declining more and more is just nerve-wracking and is not leading to any positive result. So come on, buyers, where are you? You can't let that candle sell off like that. Okay, this 5-minute bar is over. I'm gonna mute myself and we're just gonna watch the market evolving, hopefully coming long again, so the volatility is there. It only needs like 1-2 bars before we might be back at our entry point. Everything's possible. I'm just gonna be quiet for a second here and we're gonna watch how that turns out. See you then. Okay guys, I'm gonna update you real quick. So we went back all the way up. We're even a little profit a few seconds ago. This is what I'm talking about, okay? You have to give the market time. And I think my long idea will work out here today. Only the news got us in a little dangerous position here, okay? Because until then, we got like a 5-point retracement underneath our entry point. That is all totally fine, okay? I'm not claiming that I will always find the best entry where the market will definitely turn. So a 5-point retracement beyond our entry point is totally all right. But then the news, they got us in a little dangerous position, I have to admit that. I did not expect the news to be that bad for the S&P here. Other than that, we are again here around our entry point. And I'm thinking that my long idea will work out. We're gonna see new highs here, hopefully. You never know. But this is what I'm talking about, okay? You have to give the market a little time here. Maybe you're gonna see if some retracements again. But hopefully in the end, we'll see a long push. That's also the thing with my entries. I don't have to get the perfect entry here to make money at the end of the day, okay? I just have to be on the right side of the market and not get the worst entry possible, okay? Today could have definitely been better, but I just have to be on the right side of the market. So in this case, hopefully long, and I will make some money at the end of the trading day, even though I might be in a quite a big drawdown in the meantime. But in the end, I want to make money just by being on the right side, okay? So with my approach, I don't have to get the best entry. I don't have to be immediately right. I just have to be on the right side for the whole day. And that makes it a lot easier, okay? I always see those guys on YouTube, and I was one of those people myself who were trading with a risk-reward ratio, who were saying, okay, you're gonna enter a position and then put a stop loss like 4 points away to make like a 8 or 10 point winner to get a good risk-reward, stuff like that. Yeah, in the end, we definitely would have had a loss here already in the account, okay? So currently I'm not having a realized loss. I'm still into a position and I'm quite optimistic that we're gonna see new highs here. And that is a good thing about my strategy. I don't have to be perfectly right with my first entry, okay? Sometimes I am. Sometimes the market is really already abiding here, for example, in this chart, by those structural highs and immediately finding support, making new highs, and everything worked perfectly fine. And sometimes, like today, it's not always like pleasant and beautiful, but you won't see those examples often on YouTube because most of the YouTube gurus, especially in the US scene, are showing you only their best trades or their fake trades. And most of all, only trade recaps with after the fact charts. Okay, I can show you also beautiful recaps of trades I took or didn't even take in the past, where I say, oh, I entered here and the market went beautiful. Okay, that is maybe, but this is live and I have to perform here live. And it's not always pleasant and you're not always perfectly right. And that is the hard thing to do here. But you may or may not like my approach here. And you may say, okay, that's completely stupid. Being in a, I don't know, $400 drawdown or $300 drawdown to in the end make $150. From a risk reward ratio point of view, that is completely nuts. And you may be right with that. Then feel free to do it completely different. I don't think that it's too bad. Okay, of course, in a perfect world, I would always get a good entry without a big drawdown and immediately make some good money. But it's not always like that. In this case, it's just like I make maybe $150 and was in a retracement in a drawdown of $400. But what's important to me is that in the end, I made $150 and I make them on a regular basis. And sometimes when everything's working against me, then I may also have to take a $400 loss. Okay. And then you never know, maybe this market is not stopping going long here for the rest of the day and I make $1,000. That is also possible. Okay. For now, I'm in a winning position. I make money now. I'm in a winning position and I did not take a loser previously. I think there are different aspects in trading, and a lot of successful traders will teach you take your losses very, very quick and let your profits run. And that is very true. That is very true. But from my approach, which is focused on a whole day of trading, I preferably want to let this trade run until the market closes. In this point of view, I'm trading a little different. I'm taking the loss not based on any time period, taking that fast or taking it slow or letting it run longer. I don't care about that. I'm taking the loss where I have to take the loss based off on a technical point of view of the market. Okay, I have to take the loss underneath my stop loss here because it's the low of the day. If that occurs like in 5 minutes or in 5 hours, I don't know. I take the loss down here and it's not very fast. I'm not taking a little loss here. I'm letting the market get me into quite a big drawdown here. But in the end, I'm also letting my profitable positions run very long for a long amount of time. So I may trade a little different than a lot of successful traders may teach you. And I think it's totally fine taking your losses very quick and letting your profits run. That is a good strategy for making money overall. But I think, and I'm convinced of that it's way easier said than done. Okay? Because if I would always take a loss very quick, then I would eventually make very little winners. Because like almost 100% of my trades get into a drawdown before I get into the winning area. Okay, just because it's like not that easy getting in the market at the perfectly right point. And now we are making new highs. I'm in a $150 profit. Now I'm able to move the stop loss. Unfortunately, not that far down, 6.5. So, okay, look at that. I'm gonna orientate myself on the mini here and not on the micro. The mini is a little different from the micro here. So I'm gonna set the stop loss at the 625 where it needs to be according to the mini. Okay, look, the lows here are at the 306.5. So the stop loss needs to be at the 625. And I'm gonna do that here. So the micro differs a little bit because the market went that fast during the news. Okay, the stop loss needs to be here, just for your clarification. Okay, just wanted to say, if I would take my loss very quick after like when the market is 2-3 points against me, I would already take the loss. Then I would have nearly no winning trades because every trade of mine runs a little against me before going into the right direction. Okay, it's not that often that I catch the perfect entry point. I have some videos on this channel where I really catch the perfect entry. Sometimes that happens, but like, let's be real, guys. The most of the trades run a little against you before they go in your favorite direction. Doesn't matter. Enough talk for today. I hope I could explain a little to you why I trade like that, why I let the losses run a little bit, but also letting my winners run. Okay, in this case, everything worked out like I thought it would. We're making new highs here. Only the news candle starting here got me in a little bad position for quite some time. Besides that, everything worked. We're making new highs. I'm in a $150 profit, as I predicted. And I'm going to let that long position run for the rest of the day. I'm going to move the stop loss occasionally after some pullbacks. The rules are a little more complicated for that, but overall, I'm just going to let that long position run. I hope you could learn something today. I hope you enjoyed the first video with Facecam. Don't be too harsh with me. This is the first time. I have to get used to talking to the camera. Thank you for your support. Definitely leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in live trading and if you prefer those authentic live trading videos instead of those basic recap videos that you find so often on YouTube. $150 profit, now only $125. It's going to change a little bit. We see us in the next episode. Thank you guys for your support. See you then. Bye bye.